Well guys, it's finally happening. We are, after 5 years, I think it is, I've had this thing for, putting the 406 together. So here it is. This is the 400 block, bored 30 thousandths over. We've decked the block. It's not a zero deck, it's a 10th deck. I wanted to zero deck it to get my quench, but that was just going to be too much comp, and I didn't really want to go hogging out the chambers of some double hump fuelies because cast iron OG shit, like, we're probably going to hit water. We got new JE pistons for it, proper forge setup. We've got a set of H-beams, which are in there somewhere. ARP bottom end, ARP rod bolts, ARP head. We're doing head bolts for a reason. I was thinking about, we're probably going to end up pulling this engine heads in and out of the car fairly often. Didn't really want studs in the way of pulling heads off brake boosts and shit. Yeah, I know I can unwind the dogs, but fuck, just bolts do the job. Yeah, we're going to start sussing all out. I measured up some clearances already. I've blueprint ground the crank. I did this at work, so pretty much what I've done at work, I bang all the bearings in the block, torque it up, measure it, and whatever I want my bearing clearance to be, I just take that distance off of the crank journal. So I've gone for around about 2.5, and it's actually coming a bit tighter. It's about 2 and 3 on the mains, and probably about 2.5, 2 and 8 on the rods. What we're going to do now, we're just going to double check a few clearances, that sort of stuff, and we're going to dummy up the block. So we're going to bang a crank in it, put a piston in every single bore because of the we've got H-beams in it now, and the rod bolts were hitting the side of the block. And we're going to make sure that doesn't happen anymore. I ground it away, but I haven't checked it, so we're going to check it now. And then if that's all good, we're going to put the short motor together. Right, so this video here, if you're bored easily, don't watch it. This video is going to be full in depth. We're doing a proper build. It's going to probably go for a while, and I'm going to cover pretty much as we can on this thing. Sorry, if you're not interested, I don't give a shit. But I'm going to get a bit of a rundown of what I've done with the block. So I've just like cleaned up the oil drain backs and that sort of stuff. Done a bit of, as I said before, I've clearanced the rods. We'll flip it over in a quick second. Hold up. So yeah, we've clearanced the rods. There's one bolt missing that's just not in there. So I've had the clearance for the rod bolts, that sort of stuff. Around all the bottoms of the bores. Just done like any sharp edges and sort of shit laying around. Just do a killer job if you want to kill a motor. Everything else I've done before hasn't been this good. But this one here, we're not bullshitting around. This one's going to be killer. Or if you looked at the 350 build and that sort of stuff, that's cheap, fucking down and dirty. This is the proper engine. So for a crank, what we've been using, or what we're going to be using, it's just actually the standard crank. It's ground 30 thou because this thing was pretty knackered, but there's nothing really wrong with it. Crack tested it, it's straight. If you know, where's something hard? Like, she makes all the right, sounds good. Ground it, blueprint ground, so everything should just be absolutely like on the money. But yeah, she's just a stock 400 crank, this one. We're only making probably 550 horse at the most, so it should be right. We've got some killer rods, killer pistons. Yeah. Just dummying this thing up in the block. We've only got the front and the rear bearing in. We're just sussing out what's going on. So here's the piston we're going with. It's a JE SRP Pro, coated skirts, pretty short thing, pretty lightweight forged piston. They should do the job fine for us. So yeah, here we go. This is the rod we're going with. This is, I think they are Manly rods, but they're second handies. They're fine. I've already checked that the holes around, so it's 927 bushed small end. I've got numbers on them. These are all just being balanced. So that's the number without the pin, and that's the number with the pin. But yeah, so I've cranks balanced and everything's set up for this. These are a bit heavy, but anyway, that's what we're going to use. But our problem being is that these big old bolts now are hitting the side of the block, so we're going to just dummy one in there, bang it in all 8, and make sure she clears. We put a bit of WD-40 on the or something slippery, doesn't matter what the hell it is, on the piston, so we don't try to eliminate scratching stuff. Valve release at the top of the engine. It's upside down right now, so that way. See, there's a flat side and a side with a bit of a chamfer on it. That side goes to the radius on the crank journal. If you mix them up, the engine probably won't spin. And we're going to do this 8 times because I don't want to bang all the stuff together. I know this rod says number 4. They're all the same. We just grabbed one and threw it in there. Obviously we'll make it all right when we go do final assembly, but for this, doesn't matter. Oh yeah, let's have a look. Have a look at that, killer. Look down there. That was our issue before. Look at that. We've got plenty of room. That's normally what I'd like to do, but a good 40 thou clearance on anything against anything in the rotating assembly. If you clearance in the block to the crank rods, to the bottom of the cam lobe, whatever. 40 thou minimum, and like that, you know, it's about the thickness of a zip tie. Yeah, that's I don't even need that because that's heaps. Just got to make sure all the rest of them are killer too. So. Look at the resistance on the crank. Say that. Yep, that's pretty good. Okay guys, so the block is all clean. I've just bit of brake clean, blowed it off, fucking wiped all the surfaces. It's all shiny because I've just hosed the thing down WD-40, I don't want any rust, and you know, it's all killer. We're about to put shells in it and drop the crank in. We're about to drop the crank in, and so we've got a neoprene seal on this thing, 2 pieces, and we offset the thing a tiny bit, and we're going to put a little bit of what do you call it, silicone between here and here, and then a little bit on the cap, like on this sort of portion there, like that little bit, and that should keep oil from going out. So we're going to quickly do that. Another thing I like to do a little bit, just on this little bit here, just bang a bit of silicone in there as well. Just make sure nothing, just like don't like lay it in, but I'll give you a quick show. Just get a bit on your fucking finger, and just kind of like smear the dog in a bit. Just that'll do, you know, that'll do. Probably be easy to do it. How do you race? Hold up. Warm. Got the big fat pump facing towards the front of the motor. Offset a little bit like that. Makes it harder for the oil to get out. Fucking bang. Cool. Put some lube on the dog. Distribute it out. Make sure you get it on the thrust side as well. Just giving the crank a last wipe. Just making sure she's absolutely spotless. Already forgotten something. Hold up, guys. Line her up. Boom, boom. Put the back cap on first because I line her up. And bang, on she goes. With the front one, we'll get those 2 down first. They're the important ones. Just hold in, and then we'll just bang the rest of them on. Kill. This is our new fasteners for the bottom end. Got a bit of the ARP sauce on it. I'll put plenty on the thread and a bit underneath the head of the bolt. Bang the dogs in. We'll get these down first. We'll get these crunched down so when that silicone can do its job. All the usual shit. I've got all the dots on them. You probably can't see them on the screen, but you know, this one's got 2, this one's got 3, this one's got 4. And come on, there we go. And all the arrows pointing that way. You can't mix them up. Shit's not going to work. This is how it was done. I sent it out. This one's been line honed, so she's all fucking. But yeah. Well, anyway, some other random shit about this engine. See, I've had the thing line honed. These here are stake marks. If you don't know what those are, so pretty much what they've done, they've put the caps on there, and they've cold chiseled almost like, and it stretches the material, pushes the material up to the cap, so it no longer wiggles around, and the cap is located in its spot. And then they do their line home. Down. I'm just buzzing them down. I'm not bringing the cap down with it because I'd like to push the cap onto the purchase myself, like just by hitting it. Because sometimes you can have it real weird cocked and like rattle it down and bang and crack the bitch. Not good. So here, pretty much what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start talking these caps down. I like to start in the middle, work my way out. It probably really doesn't matter, but that's just what I do. So it's like bang, 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 you know. These are 70 foot-pounds. I'm going to probably start off, take them all to 40, and then probably go to 70. Do your torque in a nice sweep. So instead, don't do it like a little bit and then like, oh, I'll do the last bit and it clicks and jolt it. You want to do it in like a nice swing, so like that, you know. So, got all that shit talked down. I don't know, text to mark the thing. I just learned that from Jason from work. He does it, and I'm like, yeah, that's a cool idea. But anyway, Make sure we can turns freely. It is tight because we use that real thick assembly shit. Well, it's not tight. I mean, as in like, you know, it's not hard to spin, but as in like, it's not like it's gonna go because it's got all that assembly shit on it. But I'll spin it over, make sure there's no like weird loose and tight spots, but like you spin it, it just feels the same the whole way around, which is what we want, which is good. Right everyone, so I've banged all 7 pistons together and we've got one left. I'll give you a quick show on what's going on. I've banged the other circlip on the other side. I forgot to really show you guys what's going on. Put a bit of assembly lube on the pin, and I've got that clip in, but anyway, too late. You're not getting that one. But anyway, this one's a bit harder because now it's got the pin in the way, because normally what I did on the other side, I'd like put it in like that and then push it in and like twist it around. But on this one now, I'm using a glove because these things will pop back out and they kind of hurt when they do that. So I kind of do, we've got this little, I kind of hold it in about there. And I use this thumb here to hold the dog in. Grab a screwdriver and I kind of work the dog around. It's not always first in, first go. Like it's not fun. This is not fun. Ow! See, look at that. It didn't work. Okay, so we're starting to bang pistons in the motor. So I've bagged all my rings up. They're all numbered for each piston, cylinder. I have done that. So they're all 4-fit rings, and I've made sure each one got each cylinder, because you probably put any rings on any piston and bang them in any hole, they'll probably be fine because they're all the same size. But I just want to make sure they're all dialed in. So pretty much I gapped them all at work. I just did it at work and quickly wanted to get them out. I've gapped them at 22 thou top and bottom. It's a little bit bigger than what they recommend in the book, but if they're a bit bigger, nobody's going to know. If they're a bit too small, everybody's going to fucking know. So I'll start getting the rings on and we'll start punching them in the motor. Alright guys, so we're starting to bang our ring set on. This is our oil ring support rail, because if you look here, the compression on the piston is pretty, squished. And because of that, our pin is actually up into where the oil, or where the pin would slide in, is actually up into where the oil groove is. Oil ring groove, blah, blah, blah. So we've got this little support rail that holds the bottom of the oil ring. There's a little groove here. That's got to go in, like in here, so it stops it from spinning. It can go either side, you know what I mean? So pretty much, this is my way. You put it on the same as you put on a normal set of piston rings. This one here, it doesn't come out, it's actually squished in. The piston actually pushes it out. So wherever your groove is, I can hardly fucking see right now. The groove's there, so I could get that over there. So I've gapped these rings right, and I kind of just quickly banged them, just got the size right. But there's little burrs left over, so I got a file, and I just kind of make sure there's no bullshit going on. Okay, so we got the bottom ring in, the oil ring. That one there, just read the instructions. If you go out by killer piston, like, it's actually kind of confusing what they're saying. Anyway, the rest of them. So this is how I bang rings on, right? This is the flashiest shit like that I've ever put together for me. So but anyway, I kind of slot the ring like that, right? I get one side in like that, lift it up, kind of like rotate around the piston, right, like that, and I kind of just follow the dog around, like so, and then boom, in the groove. There's a little dot usually on a piston, on a ring telling you where to go, whatever like that. Shit like that. And if I look on this one here, this is the top ring. On the top ring, there's like a little chamfer on one side. That goes to the top. Bang, she's on, right? And then orientate them before you bang it in the motor. So, well guys, we are re-coffeed up. It's about almost 1 o'clock in the morning. I wanted to get the short done before I go to bed. That's what we're doing. All the rings and shit are on the pistons, and I'm going to clean the bores and start putting it together. So we're about to bang our first slug in. I'm just making sure everything's clean. So it's got a bit of brake clean on the rag. Doing a once over on it. Yeah. Give it a good wipe. Well, we've still got pistons going in. Number 4 going in now. I'm using this shitty ring compressor. It's a fucking pain in the ass, but it does get them in. Ideally you want one like those rings that's like set size to the bore and just they go straight in, but this here, so this will do. It's a bit finicky and whatever, and sometimes it takes more than one go. Make sure you line your setup up. I like to have the journal at the bottom of the stroke, and you got all the room, so you're not going to be knocking your con rod onto your journal, that sort of stuff. And it's kind of hard to see out there now, it's pretty dark, but you know, make sure it's out of the way of the side of the journal. When I'm banging them in, I hold them like this, hold them firm like that, make sure it's tight, and they're directional. The strap's got to be closer to the block, otherwise it will just balloon out if you go the other way. Get it lined up straight. Tap around here, try and see her in. And, this will probably, might have to reset the dog, but look at that, bang, like that, she's in.
Too easy.
And repeat that 8 times. Not we bang a piston in, you know, well, I can kind of spin the engine over to get the journal to line up, but you know, just make sure everything spins killer. Why don't you look at that? So all the short is together. Voila. So yep, bang it all together. I'm going to flip it over, torque everything up. I'm going to do that tonight because if I leave it later, I'll probably forget about it. So got it all flipped over. I've got the Ultra Torque already on there. Plenty of it. Make sure the thread's all clean and shit, and we'll bang them all down. So these are ARP 7/16 2000 series bolts. So that's about 65 foot-pounds I want them to. Do them like this. There you go. She's all torqued up. Look at this. This is killer bottom end setup. I'm happy with this. This is cool. This is the best shit I've ever had. So. Well guys, I'm probably looking a bit more alive than I was in the last video because it's not 3 o'clock in the morning. So it's probably been about a week since that video. I've been to Melbourne, come back, went to Motorex, it was killer time, blah blah blah, whatever. But while I was there, I found this unit. Got me a camshaft. So we've got a solid roller now. So it is a Comp Cams 292 XE 292 solid roller. So it's 254, 260 at 50, decent size unit. With a 1.6 rocker, it's over 600 thou lift. It should do the job pretty alright. I've had the thing in there already, and I've made sure that it doesn't hit the rods, because the rods are big H beams now, and the lobes get pretty close to it. But everything seems alright. So I'm gonna go bloody shit in the roof. What the fuck? Okay, whatever. I'm gonna bang this thing in and degree it in. You usually degree a cam, you put the cam in first and you degree off of the number 1 piston while there's not so much drag on the rest of the motor. Well, I didn't have a cam and I want to get the short going pretty quick, so we're just going to have to suffer with that now. Something else I'll show you too. Normally on the standard blocks, these here are, what do you call it, just like a Welsh plug that's in there. I've tapped them and I've put in an MPT fitting, and they screw in, and there's no chance of that unit coming out. So before I put the cam in, I've put some assembly lube around the distributor gear, and I'll just use engine oil on the rest of it, because even if you put assembly lube on the journals, you can't really put them on the bearings. By the time this one is at number 5, it's all wiped off. So I'll just hose the thing down and just engine oil. So to guide the unit in, I just got another old cam gear, or the new one, it doesn't matter, new one's down there. And while it's sitting there like that, I can just get oil on everything here. Yep, and then you can use this to kind of guide it in without buggering up your cam bearings. You got some leverage off of. Oh, here we go, guys. This is the heads for the 406. I just brought them in, give them a quick rebuild. So we've drilled the steam holes in the heads, as you can see there, and just bang new seals on it. I've got to change the spring because we've got a solid roller now, so we've upped the spring pressure a bit. And yeah, I'm just putting them together now. So we've also taken about 17 thou off the heads. So a couple more cc's out of the chamber, a bit more comp. About 11.5 to 1 we should be running. So I'm going to start banging these together now. Well, that's our heads all assembled. If you're wondering why our springs look a little bit rusty, is because they've been sitting around a bit, but there are a pack spring. There would have been a dual spring, but there was too much pressure if we used the inner, so we just, well, might as well just use the outer. So they are 473 pounds open and 180 on the seat. That should work out pretty much perfect what we want to do with a solid roller. I touched up the short turn a bit on my previous port job. Other than that, they're pretty much ready to go, I reckon. New K-liners in them as well. I've had to recut the seats because the old guides are pretty flogged out. But yeah, they should be ready to bolt on. So here we are, got the motor started going in paint. So I've just banged the sump on it, just banged the timing cover on it. Well, it's actually the ones we're using, but this is all just primer for the time being. Taped everything else up. Taped some old head gaskets to the face, but yeah. So I'm painting it back in the titanium grey that the 350 was in. Same colour, 2K with clear. Well guys, we kind of got carried away a bit, and engine looks a bit different now. We painted it, so this is the titanium grey. 2-pack, primer, 2 coats of base, 1 coat of clear. I degreed the cam. I didn't show you. Yeah, shit. We kind of just got carried away and did some shit. But what we're doing right now is we're trying to figure out this cam button. So it's just a nylon one, but we're test fitting the timing cover. So we're gonna bang timing cover on, but we've got to get it until we got to trim this thing down a bit until the timing cover will sit flat, and this will locate. And we're just using the grab the timing cover, mate. We're just using the old OEM steel one. I like the steel ones. I don't like flash shit, so we're trying to figure it. As you can see, she sits a bit out, so we got to trim her up and make it look, make it sit flat. As for degreeing the cam in, we really should have filmed that, but I just started doing it and went, oh shit, things in there, and really sorted out. It is just on 0, 0 at the moment, but that seems to be where it's happy. But we just installed it. It's always on your cam card where your intake center line's supposed to be. Where degrees at 50 thou and closing and opening. I just sussed all that. I just did one on an intake on number 1 and went, okay, cool, that's good, and that'll be good enough for this thing. So yeah, plenty of videos on that on the internet. Well, we just finished up with the timing set and whatever, so we've got this little cam button here because we're running the roller cam now, so this locates where the cam will be, and that rides off the front of the timing cover, but we've had to grind it down and adjust it with our steel timing cover to make sure it, because it just pushes the cover out, so we've got that set up good, so we just ground that off until our timing cover sits on there good, and also that the sprocket too, both gears are dead along with each other. And yeah, so ready to bang a gasket on it and button it up. We're banging the timing cover on. I like to put a little bit of silicone in the corners, just a bit around, just a little bit. I've done the same on the gasket side, got our seal in. I banged just a bit of wood, whack it in with a hammer, and I'm about to bang her on. Well guys, back in the shed again. At the moment I'm just setting up a, exact top dead center where it is on the our timing pointer. So what I've done, this is our timing pointer here. Probably not the most ideal one, but we just go for the 0 when we want to time it, and here we got our 60 degrees of marks here on the balancer, which is killer. But what I'm doing, I'm making sure that 0 here is actually where top dead center is. So what I've done, I've rolled the motor over pretty much. I'll give you a quick show. I'm trying to do this one-handed, it's pretty hard. But what I'm doing, I'm rolling the motor over until that needle don't move no more, right? And I set my 0 on the dial, and then to make sure, because there's a point on this piston where there's going to be degrees turned of crankshaft rotation where the piston actually doesn't move, when it's right at the top. So we want to find out where exactly in the middle is. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring the piston down 30 thou. So we'll bring it down 30 thou. It jumps a bit, that's freaking annoying. But there you go, right? And we'll have a look here. And you probably see there, it's a bit under 8 degrees, right? Now what we'll do, we'll roll it back, come back up to 30 thou before, and if it shows 8 degrees as well, we know that the 0 is dead in the middle. So I'll do the same thing. I'll roll it back. And I always like to go past where we're going to go and then bring it back just to make sure there's no slack in anything. So that's the 30. Whoops. There you go. And if you have a look there, same deal. you can, you know, pick your lines on the mark, whatever. But yeah, there you go. We're back on the motor. Got an oil pump bolted up to it. I put an ARP start in there. No real reason for me to do that, but I just, you know, it was like whatever. I've also put a little tack on where the pickup goes to the oil pump, just to make sure this thing doesn't move or come off. I've checked my depth that I've got, so I've run a straight edge across here and a tape measure, and do the same on sump. And anywhere between about 3/8 and a half inch, you're sweet and you're ready to go. So I'm about to just bang it on. I'm just going to put a little bit of silicone in these corners here, and I've got a single piece gasket. This unit right here makes it nice and easy. So I'm gonna get that one sorted out right now. Well, sump's on. Put all Welsh plugs in as well. So it looks pretty good now. All the brass on, what do you call it? Gunmetal grey. So I'm going to clean up the deck surfaces and prep set up to get our heads bolted on. Well, these guys are the heads we're going to be using. So these are old 186 casting double hump fuelies. So they are a 61 or a 62cc chamber. I milled about 20 thou off them, so it's in for 11.5 to 1. I can't remember 61 or 62. I've drilled them for the steam holes. 202 intake, 1.6 exhaust. I've got them to flow around about 140. Not 140, 240 CFM. Oh, it's dark, can't see anything. Showing a bit when I bolt them on, but they flow 240 CFM. I don't remember what the exhaust flow. It was a while ago. Yeah, ready to bolt on. As for head gaskets, I'm just using Felpro 40 thou. Nothing fancy. Also, don't do what I almost did and forget to put this plug in. When you put the head on, you might have a bit of a hard time. Also put a little bit of a smear of just sealer on each end here and also underneath, because there's no clamp really out there, and you know, you don't want anything leaking out. You probably won't, but insurance. So what I'm using here, I'm just using ARP bolts for the heads. You got to do a bit of a weird jiggle. You got to put the ultra torque in underneath the washer and the head of the bolt. But this being a OEM stock block, the threads go all the way to water, so you have to put sealer on the end of them. So I kind of got my source there. Come on out, and your sealers sitting at the bottom. Bit of a jiggle setup, but yeah. So I'll get all that sorted out, and I'm just gonna buzz them all down and then torque them up. Rightio, I'm gonna just do this, and don't worry, this thing is not gonna fucking break anything. Right, I got them all just nipped down. Now I want to go around, and I'll probably torque them, probably do it in 3 stages or so. And no, the bloody impact gun is not going to hurt anything. Putting them on, like, it's on pretty low setting, like it ain't doing out nothing, man. Well, got it all torqued up. So I'm going to sit the manifold on. So I got this one. This one was a cheap China one. Actually fits pretty good, surprisingly good. But I did have to mill a little bit off, and we're just going to suss out how we're going to go. So I've actually milled, I've faced a good for, look at that, the port's pretty square for a $199 manifold. But I've milled about 60 thou off the faces, because I have faced the block and the heads a fair bit. So it's not going to perfectly line up. I'm about to sit it back on, and we'll see how good the port or the height is, if we need to do any more or something else. And then I'm going to mark it out so I can match port the manifold as well. So now we're going to be banging in all our lifters and push rods. Actually, no, we won't be doing that first. We're putting in our screw-in studs first. And then I'll bang in lifters and push rods. Just got the lifters chilling over there in some oil. So I'm going to put all the studs on first. Again, these being standard, well, not standard, but well, factory GM heads. Those holes go to water. So you'll need to put some sealer on them. I'll just put these 2 in here to mock up, you know, push rod lengths and that sort of shit. But yeah, you got to use sealer on all of them, which is great. So there's our studs all lined up, ready to go. If you're wondering why they look a bit second-hand, it's because they are. Well, they're second-hand to me. I run these on the 350. I run these heads on the 350 too. But yep, They're going back on, nothing wrong with them. 7/16 screw-in studs. I've machined the heads for them. Yeah, I'm going to start banging these in right now. There we go, got them all torqued up whenever like that. Wipe all your excess off. Yeah, there's a little bit left over, but like 99% of it's gone. Yeah, so now I can bang in my lifters, which are over in a bit of a bath. Yeah, I'll bang them in now. Endure something, blah blah blah, one of their bloody things. They're not super expensive ones, they're not cheap ones, solid roller lifters. They're second handies, just like pretty much everything on this engine, because I ain't got heaps of cash, but I want results. So tie bar facing out, you can get the thing in. Come on, get in the, be happy. This is hard to do one-handed with a phone. Get more. There you go. Boom. There's one. These are our push rods. They're 8-inch long, 5/16, 80 thou wall, and they're nothing too fancy. These are ones I loaned around. They are used, yes, like everything I just said, but they will work good enough. So for rockers, what we got here, these are just comp 1.6 ratio roller rockers. They're not that expensive, and they cost like $400 or something. And yep, all our push rods and lifters and whatever are in. So I'm going to start banging them all in, and we'll set our lash. I've also got a little bit of assembly lube, that molly stuff on the tips of every push rod and all the valve tips as well. Pretty much just going to start banging them on, man. So we've got all the locks sitting on there. I'm just going to go through and set lash. So we've got 16 on the intake, 18 on the exhaust. Seems like somebody in their shit Falcons getting around town. But I'm going to do the exhaust opening, intake, closing method, run through it all, and yeah, it'll be good for setup. Well, here we go. Got all the rockers on, everything's set. It's all sweet. I'm probably going to call it a night here. Well, here's the manifold that we've been dealing with. I did a bit of a match port today. Looks all right. I'm just going to set that on because I was having problems with the rocker covers hitting this part of the manifold, so I'm probably suss that out. But other than that, probably call it a day here and I'll pick it up tomorrow. Well, I've got my oil filter adapter, got a filter on it. I've got a little oil pressure gauge on it, and I'm about to put some oil in, which is now. There we go. Well, we got oil pressure. Spin this up. So we're back at it. I'm about to bolt the manifold onto the motor, and what we got going on here, we got this here I've had to grind off a bit. This side's a bit more because it was hitting the rocker covers, or actually the rocker cover gasket, and I've just put a little bit of an angle on it. But after that, you know, it's not around here, but yeah, we're about to go slap it on. So we're about to bang the manifold on. So I've got the gaskets laid out, as you can see. Let's put a little bit of sealer around where the water is on the head side and the gasket side. More important probably on the head side because they've got a little bit of, the heads are probably, they're 50 years old. They're 1969 heads, so they're more than 50 years old, shit. But make sure no chances of leaks or oil getting anywhere. Also I put a little bit along the bottom of here on the other side just to make sure no oil from the valley goes up. So we're going to lay our feed down for the china walls of the intake manifold block. So we're just about to drop the manifold on. Don't worry about the blue, that's just mark out blue, that's not nothing. That's when I was porting the manifold. Line it all up. Sweet. Okay, we'll put a few bolts in it and just start nipping it down. Well, there you go, guys. We put a little flash dress up kit on it and whatever, but manifold's on. All looking good. Yeah, so about to stab a distributor in it and get it ready for hopefully we can run it tomorrow. But yeah, look at this. It's all looking pretty good. That's looking pretty good. Well, guys, we've gone ahead and done a couple more things. We got our little run stand set up. Engine should be finished. We should be making some noise right now. Yep, scary run-in number 2 of the past couple of weeks. Yeah, we're going to give it some fuel and bark it off. Have a suss what's going on. This one's been about a 7-year ordeal since I first bought this block, and all the bits in it. Let's see how we fucking go. This is shit. Alright. Here goes nothing. Front one's not squirting. This is fucking not bad. Jump! Jump! Well, there we go, everybody. Engine's already in the car, and yeah, I didn't really film a whole lot of the dyno or whatever, apart from a couple pulls, and that was it. But we're mostly just trying to get the thing dynoed and on and off, sort of as efficiently as possible. But engine ended up making 510 horsepower at like 6,100 RPM. Pretty good, I reckon, for a cast iron small block Chevy, all cast iron, double hump fuelie heads. It's all just stuff that you could do 40, 50 years ago. Also, I'd like to say a big thanks to Marcus and Darren at Bullet Race Engineering. They're my bosses. If you haven't figured out, that's where I work. But this made this thing possible. This thing was showing what to do and help me out here and there. And yeah, it really made doing this a lot easier. Anyway, we'll catch you in the next one.